right, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Shea, may I please have a roll call to establish a quorum?
Present.
Dr. Coleman,
Present.
Ms. Lane,
Here.
Ms. Tisworth,
Present.
Ms. Williams.
Present. And tonight, Dr. May and Ms. Jackson are excused from our meeting tonight. Next, we will have our Board of Education norms read by Dr. Coleman.
A cohesive team. We will remember to put students at the center of every discussion, of every decision. Pause after someone speaks to hear all voices. We will consider and respect all opinions without judgment. We will strive to assume positive intentions from all members. The board will honor the board policy related to the implementation of Robert's Rules of Order. We will model Robert's Rule of Order, conduct ourselves professionally, and use our time efficiently and constructively. Policy BCB, collective agreement. The board will honor policy BBF, school board member ethics, use collective voices to reach decisions, honor and respect the work of the board, honoring and supporting the board decision at all times, aligned with board policies and procedures. Be prepared for meetings. The board will review the packet details and submit questions within the established time frame. Questions at meetings should be limited and specific to information not presented in the packet details. No surprises at meetings. Extend courtesy for each member's questions. No one member always speaks first. Members of the board will arrive 10 minutes prior to the start of meetings if possible. Administration will release board packets to the Riverview Gardens Board of Education within the identified time frame. Not allow outside entities to dictate board actions. Riverview Gardens School District Board of Education decisions will be made based on facts, policies, and procedures, not individuals' opinions or requests. Educate and encourage the community to follow proper protocols for voicing concerns. Policy KC, community engagement.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Next, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Madam Chair, I so move. Second.
It has been moved by Ms. Moore-Reel and seconded by Ms. Lane to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Okay, if there's no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. The agenda has been adopted. Next, we will move to Riverview Excellence.
Good evening, Board of Education members, excuse me, Dr. Patton, colleagues and community. Today, for Riverview Excellence, we have 4 excellent educators from Moline Elementary, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Amber White, the principal here at Moline Elementary.
Good evening. I'd like you to humor me. I know it is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I heard the word is succinct, but I would like you to humor me. If I was with students or probably my staff, I would ask them to close their eyes, but you're kind of sitting facing a bunch of people, so that's a little uncomfortable. But I do want you to picture this scenario with me, okay? I want you to imagine that you have spent the last few years saving thousands and thousands of dollars. and you pack everything you can into 2 suitcases, and you step on an airplane. You fly thousands of miles across the world from the people, the places, and the routines of your life. The faces of family and friends you love the most now live behind a screen. You think of them often, but your days and theirs move in opposite rhythms. When you're awake, they're asleep. When you gather for dinner, they're already halfway through their workday. Even the simplest phone call requires planning and calculation, oftentimes in the wee hours of the morning when you should be asleep, preparing for the workday at your new job. Picture your new neighborhood. The signs, the sounds, the smells, everything feels exciting but completely foreign. The stores are different, the food's different, the pace is different, even the language is different than the English that you're accustomed to. You want to belong here, but every small errand that you take reminds you how far you are away from home. And now imagine you arrive at your new job, a classroom filled with rambunctious faces, questioning eyes, and active bodies. Everything about being here is unfamiliar. The curriculum is new, it's organized differently from everything you've known. Student behaviors challenge your expectations. The strategies that used to work well at home don't fit here. Parent interactions reflect values and sometimes communication that is surprising, maybe even intimidating. And even relationships with colleagues is a challenge because everybody knows everybody. You don't know anybody. You look different, you sound different, you feel different, and all the while you're constantly observing, learning, adjusting, and trying to balance what you thought you knew with what's in front of you. Wondering in your head, am I doing it right? Am I failing? What do they think of me? Are they going to ask me to come back? Can I do this? Why did I even come here? And then the bell rings and you go home. Not to your own space, but to a shared living area with other people. Laughter, noise, movement. You share a fridge, a kitchen, sometimes a bedroom. Privacy is rare, and rest depends on other people's schedules. You care for kids all day long and go home and try to balance planning for the next day and your own sense of peace in a crowded space. I don't know about you, but that's really, really hard to imagine for me. I think a mixture of gratitude for the opportunity, but also that quiet ache just to be home and be comfortable. The resilience that it has to take to show up every single day for kids, to fight through the adversity and to keep trying to grow in this place that is so uncomfortable. This is probably a too simplistic version of the lived experience of 4 of our Trailblazer educators that I'd like to recognize tonight. And they don't know that I'm celebrating them. So second year teacher at Moline, Miss April, oh my God, not the tears. Miss April Christine Sabalo. And we have 3 new Trailblazer teachers this year. Miss Elaine Mataverde. No, you gotta come up, come on. Miss Teresa Lizette Solario and Mr. Michael Almazan. And I'm not all the way done, I know succinct, but I also need to recognize the people that are in this room because it takes a team of people to support new teachers coming in. So I would like, all of these people sitting here are here to support them tonight. So whether they're a mentor, a teammate, a friendly face, whoever, if you are a Trailblazer here to support our team of teachers, yep, quit crying, stand up, because I want to celebrate them too. I said stand up. That's Riverview excellence right there.
Hold on 1 second. If you all can come back up to the front. And if we can congregate in this area, board members, yeah, that way we don't have to navigate around this podium. Come on up, teachers. Give them a round of applause. Give them some encouragement as they come up. And that concludes Riverview Excellence.
Okay, that was beautiful. Beautiful. We'll keep moving. Ms. Shea, do we have anyone for public comments?
No, we do not.
Thank you very much. Next, we will move to our announcements from any board members. Do we have any announcements or any remarks?
For those of you that may be interested, again, Riverview Gardens is still in need. We're not just Riverview Gardens, but Riverview Gardens, I think Ferg, Floor, and Jenny's, on the Special School District Board of Education. So if you know someone that may be a good fit to represent us, please have them, they can contact me or they can contact the Special School District Office, 314-989-8100. So if you know of anybody that's interested in representing us, please reach out.
All right, thank you. Next, we will move, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I so move.
It has been moved by Ms. Moore-Real and seconded by Ms. Lane to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. The consent agenda has been approved. Next, we will move to our, you said no student representatives? Okay. Our superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. First of all, Ms. White, if you're going to do that, you need to carry around a box of tissue or pass it around or something. People were using their sleeves and whatnot. All right, good job. All right, I do want to talk about, just for a second, we were able last, I think it was last Thursday, to have our DESE hearing. And so we, as a provisionally accredited school district, we are required to have 2 hearings every year. We have one in the fall semester and one in the spring semester. Last week we had our fall semester, and I just want to thank DESE for coming out, as well as our volunteers. I do want to shout out the Little Bit Foundation members of their team, the CEO, as well as one of their vice presidents facilitated the meeting. So thank you to Miranda Jones as well as to Erica Driver for joining us, as well as our Soul Fishers partners. They were there as well. I do want to share a few highlights. I am very proud of this district and what we have accomplished over the years. Over the last 3 or 4 years, we have done very well. We recently received our annual performance report. So when you hear APR, that means annual performance report. It's a document that evaluates the performance of school districts and individual schools based on standards set by the MSIP 6. It uses multiple measures, including academic achievement, student growth, graduation rates, attendance, to determine a school's or district's accreditation status. Just a few highlights for Riverview Gardens. Riverview Gardens ranked 5th in overall APR growth among all St. Louis area school districts. That deserves a round of applause. We are doing the work. We were 10th out of 29 school districts in the St. Louis area that showed an enormous growth. 6 of our 12 schools showed academic growth. They were CMS, that's Central Middle School, Westview Middle School, Glasgow, Highland, Koch, and Lewis and Clark. Give them a round of applause. This is huge. 2 out of our 12 schools demonstrated significant growth in APR. That means they increased by more than 25 percentage points. They are Lewis and Clark Elementary School, led by Ms. Jarita Williams, with a 31.2% increase, and Highland Elementary School, led by Ms. Teresa Harris, with 27.8% increase. And please note that these are two of our turnaround schools. So hats off to those schools. They are working hard. Riverview Gardens, as I said during our last board meeting, we were 1 point away from full accreditation. 1 point and 1 percentage point. I tried to convince the commissioner to round up, but she wasn't, well, she's actually thinking about it, so we'll keep her there. But over the last 3 years, we have increased 11 points. From 2022 to 23, we had 117, 23, 24, 129, and 24, 25, 139. Each year, we increased by 11 points. Riverview Gardens, you all are doing the work. Moline Elementary, Meadows, Lewis and Clark, all of our schools, Glasgow, our middle schools, our high school, you are doing the work. This provides great momentum for Riverview Gardens to continue to grow. In order to reach full accreditation status, we need to get all of the points we received this year and an additional 14 points. That may sound like, oh, 14 points. We can do this. We are fully capable of doing this. So I'm asking this entire team that's in the room, as well as our entire Riverview Gardens community, our families, our employees, please keep working hard. We are making a difference. I stood in front of Commissioner Esslinger, and I told her that this year would be the last year she would use our school district and provisional accreditation in the same sentence. That's going to be the last year that she used Riverview Gardens and provisional accreditation in the same sentence. We are fully capable. Let's show them that we can do this. Keep working hard. I could not be more proud to lead this school district. Thank you for all of your hard work, and please give yourselves a round of applause. We didn't need tissue for that, huh? Okay. I do want to mention a few of our employees who have received the apple for the teacher. Dr. Doretha Epps, she's one of our instructional coaches. She's from Danforth. She received the apple for the teacher award. Former retired counselor from Riverview Gardens, Dr. Elizabeth Smith, received the apple for the teacher award. And then Miss Mashonda Bailing, she works for SSD, but she is in the Riverview Gardens School District. This past Saturday, all three of them received the apple for the teacher award, which acknowledges distinguished service to education. So give those three ladies a round of applause, and we will keep working hard. And finally, I want to remind everyone who's listening on our YouTube station as well as in the room, our boundary realignment survey is still open, as well as our climate and culture survey. Both of those surveys will close this weekend. So please, please, please go on and complete the survey so that we can, you can have your voice in the room. As you know, starting in the 26-27 school year, Danforth Elementary School will close, and we will redraw boundaries within the district. That will affect almost every school within our boundary. So it's not just Danforth. It will affect almost every school. So please make sure your voices are heard, and please complete those surveys. And finally, on behalf of the Board of Education and the Riverview Gardens School District, we wish our families and our employees and our students a happy Thanksgiving. Madam President, that concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. Next, we will move to items for information.
Our first item up for information is the new board member information election that will come in April. Making this presentation is Ms. Shay Fields. Oh, there she is. I was like, where did Shay go? This is in conjunction with policy BBB, school board elections. Ms. Fields.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Tanya Patton. I would like to share that on April the 7th of 2026, the Riverview Gardens School Board will have 3 positions on the ballot. And so for those 3 positions, the filing will take place at the St. Louis County Board of Election Office and that is located at 725 Northwest Plaza Drive in St. Anne, Missouri. And candidates can go there and file between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and that will begin on December the 10th. And so it will go until December 31st. However, the office will be closed on December 25th due to the holiday. And then also, they will have a website available for any inclement weather days that they will not be in operation. Are there any questions? Also with this agenda item is a link to the Missouri School Board candidate resource page. So if anyone who is interested in running for the school board, they can click on that link and get some additional information, and also the calendar is listed there as well. That's all that I have.
Thank you, Ms. Fields.
Thank you.
Our next item up for information is our data presentations from Lewis and Clark and Moline Elementary Schools. Making this presentation is Ms. Barbara Sharp. She's the Executive Director of Continuous Improvement. Mr. Rita Williams, the Principal of Lewis and Clark, and then Ms. Amber White, the Principal of Moline. This presentation is in conjunction with Policy IA, Instructional Goals and Priorities. Ms. Sharp.
Good evening, Superintendent Patton, members of the board, colleagues, and members of the community. As has been stated, tonight we will have a data presentation from 2 of our elementary schools. Data presentations are not new in the Riverview Garden School District. We have been engaged in this process for several years. Principals have focused on their data. They've taken ownership of their data, and they have been engaged in various strategies to ensure the success of their schools. So tonight you'll hear from the 2 schools that have been mentioned. They'll focus on attendance. They'll focus on student performance. They will also look at the student performance rate and DESI-tested areas. So tonight we will receive Ms. Jarita Williams, and followed by her will be Amber White, principal here at the Moline Elementary School. Thank you.
Good evening, Riverview Gardens Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Patton, colleagues, and community members. I am Jarita Williams, the proud principal of Lewis and Clark Elementary School. Thank you. Again, as Ms. Sharp stated, I will go ahead and talk about attendance, math performance, ELA performance, map comparison data, and celebrations. So here is the attendance data for the 23-24 school year, 24-25, and the 25-26. We are really proud of August. So from August of 24-25, our average daily attendance was at 86.40%, and our 90-90, which means 90% of our students were at school 90% of the time, was 59.35. For the 25-26, we landed at 90.54 and at 64.27 for 90-90. We are extremely excited because in our neighborhood we do not have buses. And so timing of students arriving at school varies from day to day. Here we have our math performance data by grade level from the spring of 24-25 to the fall of 25-26. And in this data, we are excited. If you look at it, you'll see the highlighted areas are where we had growth, which shows what kind of learning loss we had. But we're extremely excited about our ELA performance. Note that we are working on math. However, we see lots of gains from below basic to basic and basic to proficient, and we do have some advanced. And that is for kindergarten, first grade, third grade, and then our fifth graders. Our ELA focus this year, what we're using is our board-approved curriculum, which is benchmark. We're following the scope and sequence. We're utilizing the workshop model Actually, we're doing instructional work boards because they work easier for our substitute teachers to follow. And we have established a daily intervention using our STAR data. In our math comparison data, you will see, if you look at the MPI, you'll see that there has been growth in the MPI throughout the years, but we're excited that our fifth graders, if you look at below basic, we decreased below basic, which increased basic, and increased proficient and advanced when it came to ELA. And if you look at our science, we did the same thing. Below basic, we decreased, increased basic, and increased proficient. Note that we are still working on math, and we are definitely working on science, making sure that our students have more hands-on experiences. And here are my celebrations. Again, I already spoke about the ADA. If you look at our STAR ELA, you'll see a decrease in below basic for K, first, and third, increase in proficient for K, first, third, and fifth, increase in advanced for first, third, and fourth, and then a decrease in below basic in first and third in math. And because the superintendent stole my shine, but I'm going to shine again. Okay, ready? Okay, so growth in APR points from 22.7% to 53.9%, which was a 31.2% growth. I'm happy. Okay, so anyway, are there any questions that I can answer? All right. Well, thank you. I will now introduce Dr. Amber White. Yes.
Good job,
You
Ms.
are a
Williams.
doctor. You don't got to pay for it. Take it. No.
I wanted to go first because I wanted to sell 31.2 percentage increase points is absolutely huge, and I just, Jarita said 2 years ago she wasn't a real principal, you know, if you're going to take it when it's rough, you got to take it when it's good, and so I want her to know that that's a really big accomplishment. And I do mean that. You know, celebrating when things are going well for you is important, and when they're not going well for you, you have to own that. And that really is the focus of today's data presentation for Moline. Same topics, don't need to go over those. I want to talk about our attendance. So that is 2 years ago, last year in the middle, and this school year right now. Everywhere you see in green means that we increased over the last year. You are sitting in the room with the best attendance team in the Riverview Gardens School District. Mr. Robert O'Neill and Ms. Keely Walker right here. They are the most phenomenal people at getting children to school. You will hear them every day at the door. We missed you yesterday. We didn't see you yesterday. They know every kid who wasn't at school, and every day they're going to let that kid know, we knew you weren't here yesterday. So we had a really strong start to our attendance this year. Some of the challenges with focus have, I think, affected our attendance. The drop from 81% to 66% in October, I'm unsure of the accuracy about that. It's like every month we think we've cleaned stuff up and we find a new challenge. So focus really is a fix it as we go. But our goal this year is that we are going to be above 80% in attendance. We've improved 10% every single year. And so our goal at Moline is that 80% of our students will be at school 90% of the time, because that's the only way that we get points, and we're trying to contribute to that. You can't read these numbers, and I know that, and you don't have to. I will summarize both our math performance and our ELA performance from last year. We started the year strong with relatively little learning loss in both content areas. In the middle of the year, we were making what we would deem to be sufficient progress, with the exception of a grade level. And that grade level became a very significant challenge for us across the building. And as the leader of the building, I had to make some decisions about how we would fix that. And sometimes when you look back, you have to wonder if your decisions were the right decisions. And in that moment, my decision was to step in. I love teaching, and so I spent a lot of time teaching in third grade last year. And so I laugh a little bit because there was some increase in the third grade data. But the sacrifice to that was that my job as the instructional leader of the building was sacrificed. I didn't do enough to make the people in this room better and to support them. And because of that, Moline did not improve in the way that we believe we should have improved. So that is something that, I always make my sports analogies, right? And when you have what is a losing season for you, that it really makes you step back and reflect on what did you do, things, we think this is the right way. I look back still and say, should I have done that? Should I have been teaching as opposed to what I was doing? Or what I should have been doing being in classrooms. And so it's one of those things, I can't change it, but moving forward. And so interestingly, we are in a similar position this year. We said we wouldn't be, but here we are faced with a similar position, and how we choose to handle that as a building with our leadership team, with the support of teachers across the building is very different this year. And so we are not hoping for different outcomes, but we are looking at data to help drive us to different outcomes this year. So that is consistent across math and ELA. There's really you don't have to look at all the numbers. The numbers are not exciting or happy, and I don't have to tell you which grade level was the challenge, because you'll see that, you'll see it in the data. Our focus in ELA this year has been, we'll talk about Dr. Patton's words, has been foundation here at Moline for the last few years. Stood in front of you a month ago to talk about the grant that we received. We have started our work with that grant, and it has been a phenomenal opportunity for us to learn already. It is driving everything that we do related to early literacy. We're really focused on what does it look like when you walk into a classroom where kids are learning how to read. How can we identify practices that every teacher should be implementing, and people in this room are providing professional development to teachers, and then going in and watching and coaching and supporting. They're recording themselves teaching, watching the recordings in front of their colleagues, taking feedback, giving feedback. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful learning opportunity for us. We are looking at a lot of what are called HQIMs, high quality instructional materials, to kind of vet those and determine what we think would be the best moving forward. And we're really working on strengthening our instructional practices. What is this lesson I'm about to teach? Like, I got to live it, breathe it. It's got to be in my soul, like you're at a concert and you're just singing that song with all of y'all know? This Girl Is on Fire, that song. Like, how I sing that song is how we want people to teach their lesson, right? Like that, I will do it. But that's how we want them to deliver their lesson, right? I know it in my core, and I want to deliver the lesson that way. And so we're really trying to help teachers get that, that sort of internalization. Our math data is pretty consistent. This is cohort data across 3 years, so it's tracking kids. We feel like they made amazing growth from 3rd grade to 4th grade, and then that growth from 4th to 5th grade just was not what we would expect. And that's me. That is me as the instructional leader, sort of prioritizing in other places. Whether it was right or wrong, it didn't lead to the outcomes that we wanted. These are our celebrations. So what you're looking at, the top graph, is 5 years worth of fall early literacy data. So this is how kids have started the year at Moline for the last 5 years. So 5 years ago, you can see there's a lot of red, and I love red when it's Sundays for football games, but not for data. And so you see across the 5 years, we started this year with less than half of our students scoring red. The bottom is star reading, so these would be our 2nd through 5th graders. The top is K through 1st grade, the bottom is 2nd through 5th grade. So we do feel like we see a decrease, but I think you'll see what I'm talking about with sort of last year and this year's fall. The two on the right look similar, and we would not expect them to look similar. We would expect the red and yellow to be decreasing. So that is our goal for this year, and when we come back starting December 1st, we're going to see how that looks, because we'll start STAR testing. I think I'm not accepting questions tonight, so Ms. Sharp, anything from you? Super.
What Amber meant to say, are there any questions? That's what she meant to say. No questions? Okay. Great job to both of these ladies in their presentation. Great job. Our next item up for information is our Prop S updates. That will be provided by Mr. Carl Scheid. He's the Executive Director of Facilities and Food Service, and this is in conjunction with Policy DJF2 Purchasing. Mr. Scheid?
Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Patton, colleagues and community. I'm going to give a brief update. The timer's going, okay. All right, so let's just dig into this. So obviously, the goal and objective here is to share information on where we're at and then share information on where we're going next. So obviously, in April of 2024, Prop S was approved for the following projects that are listed on this slide. I'm not going to read them to you. Moving on. Let's just dig into it. So here's where we're at on our current projects. So the high school building envelope projects, we're wrapping up the roof at the gymnasium. They're putting on gutters and downspouts, and they've started that work this week as well. And then we have gone through the design services process on the Building 9 screen walls. So that's those big concrete panels that are on Building 9 that are crumbling. So we will be bringing a package forward to the board at the December meeting, hopefully, so that we can get that underway. Moving on from that, our wrap-up of our secure entry vestibule work. So we have the central services vestibule that will begin during winter break, and we're anticipating that to be wrapped up by February. And then our work at Central Middle, we're finalizing the ephes, or it's that area of the front wall of the building. So that is being worked on where the stone was removed. And we're going to be coating that new switchback ADA accessible ramp as well to give it a nicer appearance as well. So that work will be going on December and wrapped up by January. Continuing on with exterior lighting A and B. So we're really, now they're going through from building to building, just double checking every single exterior light and troubleshooting anything that does not appear to be working. So the contractor is going building to building, light to light, to make sure everything is fully functional. We're commissioning the light poles at the high school this week, and then Voss is sitting down with Ameren to coordinate the removal of the light poles throughout the district. So that there'll be more to come on when that's going to be completed. As it relates to the ADA accessibility and door replacement work, so as it relates to the door work, that's actually going to begin next week. We're taking delivery Monday afternoon of well over 100 and some odd doors just at Central Middle School. They're going to work through Central Middle, then they'll shift over to the high school, and then we'll progressively go from building to building, replacing those classroom doors. The ADA accessibility work, that's obviously going to be more intrusive work, and that will be taking place as we get into the summer. And that's really focused at Central Middle. The wheelchair lift is going to start in the month of December for the Masters and should be wrapped up by January. Moving on, so at the completion of the gymnasium roof at the high school, the roofers will then move over to Glasgow to perform the roof replacement on that library section of the building. So they'll be over there in the month of December, and hopefully we will get cooperation from the weather so that can be completed in a timely manner. Okay, so now we're down to what's coming, the planning and the pricing. So we're anticipating bringing athletic field improvements to the board in February with work to be performed in this upcoming summer. Site fencing would also be brought forward in March with work to be done in the spring and summer. The high school command center, making some improvements in that area. That'll be coming in March with the work to be performed in the summer. And then the actual high school Building 9 facade would obviously come forward in December with the work to be performed in the summer. So I know I've said a lot, but do you have any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Mr. Scheid, I will tell you that the district looks great, so thank you for the work that you are doing, and thank you to our community for passing Prop S and giving us the funds for that. Good job. You may as well stay there, I believe, because our next item up for information is our food service program evaluation. Making this presentation is Mr. Scheid, Ms. Carolyn Penn, she's our general manager, and then Mr. Mike Butler, the director of regional operations for SFE. This is in conjunction with policy IM, evaluation of programs.
Okay.
Team.
I'm going to turn it over to people that make it happen. Here we go. Carolyn Penn and Mike Butler.
Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Patton and members of the board and everyone in the room. Today, I'm just going to be going over what's happening with the food service department. So we started the year off early with our health and nutrition programs. We've done several rainbows and butterflies. We've done roving chefs, nutrition education programs. So we wanted to get an early start so we can ensure that we met our goals for the school year. Okay. Let me pull this down a little bit. I feel like I'm talking up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So the next big thing that I would like to talk about is we applied for and received a grant from Fuel Up. It's an equipment grant, and we were awarded $22,000 where we were able to purchase 11 smoothie carts. So with those carts, what we're able to do now is we're able to offer a new item on our breakfast menu, which is the freshly made smoothies. And so with me, whenever I do something like this, bring out a new item, of course, I want to get feedback from the students. So what we did was we did surveys of all the schools to find out whether or not the children enjoyed the smoothies. And as you can see, overall, they did. They were a great success. So we took the smoothie thing a step further. So next, what we did was we purchased 2 smoothie bikes. So what a smoothie bike is it is a bike, you know, it's a stationary bike, and it has a blender attached to it. So, yeah, so when the kids actually pedal, it powers the blender and makes the smoothies. So we took the bikes over to Westview to have the kids to try it out, and they had a great time. It's a great tool. It's a great resource for us to have to be able to go out to the kids and talk to them about healthy eating, and also have them participate in a little physical activity while we're doing that. So that was great, and the kids enjoyed it. They enjoyed the smoothies that they made.
Ms. Penn, so we're having children work for their food. That's what I got out of that. Is that what they're doing?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. We're cracking the whip. Okay. So the next thing, October was National Principals Month. So when I found out about that, what we wanted to do was we wanted to, somehow give something to the principals. So what we did was we baked cookies and took them out and hand delivered them to all the principals just to thank them for all that they do, because we do appreciate what they do. Last week we prepared and served our Thanksgiving meals in all of our school cafeterias. We had the traditional Thanksgiving meal: turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, green beans, all of that. And then for dessert, what we had was a pumpkin loaf, and we served blushing pears to the students. So they did enjoy it, and we enjoyed doing it each year for the students. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for us, and I hope it's a big deal for the students as well. And so to kind of wrap this up, so what I'm going to talk about now is participation. So for the month of August, we did see an increase in breakfast and lunch participation, and the surplus for the district was $68,161 for the month of August. So the month of September, we also saw an increase in breakfast and lunch participation, and the year-to-date surplus for the district was $192,863. In October, we saw a slight decrease in breakfast and lunch participation. Actually, for lunch, it was less than 1%. And the year-to-date surplus for the district was $309,436. Okay. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Penn, I would like to have one of those bikes over at Central Services, making them work for their food over there too.
You know what? It's not as easy as it looks.
I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we were thinking maybe a competition between schools. Maybe somebody
Oh,
could.
yes. Okay.
Oh, no. He
Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you, SFE, thank you. Our next item up is the Facilities and Grounds End-of-Year Evaluation. Making this presentation is Mr. Gerald Freeman. He is the Director of Facilities, and this is, again, in conjunction with IM Evaluation of Instructional Programs. Mr. Freeman.
Good evening, Dr. Patton, Principal or President Williams, members of the board, colleagues and community. I'm Gerald Freeman, Director of Facilities. I'm honored to serve this district in our division, but I don't do it alone. I do it with an amazing leader, Mr. Carl Scheid, as well as an even more amazing leader, Ms. Jane Crum, who holds all the things together for us. So tonight, I'm just going to go over our goals and objectives. We'll talk about some staffing updates. We'll look at our projects and updates, and then, of course, some continuous improvement. From a staffing perspective, you all have approved 89 employees. That includes our custodial as well as maintenance. Does not include Mr. Scheid, Ms. Crum, and myself. Currently, with our leadership, there is a custodial supervisor that's frozen, as well as a maintenance supervisor position that is vacant. From our maintenance division, we're still working through those nuances to identify the right footing for an HVAC technicians, of which we have 3 vacant positions, as well as 2 plumber positions that currently are vacant. And then working with our phenomenal HR team under Mr. Ford, we are currently down 2 custodians. And so they have done a great job in terms of recruiting for our department. As it pertains to projects and updates, this is just a high-level view of things that we have done. Schools are continuing to get painted, updated, and repaired. We're working with principals and leaders to discard items in their buildings that no longer are needed or pose a safety issue. We're doing periodic restoration of floors, as many of our schools have white floors in the classrooms. Even this past weekend, we had work done at Highland Elementary as well as Meadows Elementary. We're monitoring and managing the multiple work orders throughout the district, and so we do that on a daily basis. We respond to health and safety issues. There's been breakouts, and we work with our nursing department, and when we get that information, we deploy our team to address those issues. And then, of course, there is continuous communication. We have not failed this district in any of the events. We have been proactive in our communication, and so unless there was an event that we weren't aware of, every event has gone without fail. And we're doing this through a continuous improvement through what we call a performance cycle. We believe that if we have the right people working, and that they're working with the right products, whether it's the tools that our maintenance crew will need, or the tools that our grounds crew will need, or the tools and the chemicals that our custodial team need. If the right people are working with the right products and working at the right process, meaning that we're doing things correctly, consistently, and completely, and if we're working at the right pace, we'll get the right performance. And so this is a performance cycle that begins with people, and we can measure it by the performance that is happening. And so I wanted to say that we're setting a higher standard, what we call the RG way. Tony Robbins says that if you don't set a baseline standard for what you'll accept in life, then you'll find it's easy to slip into behaviors and attitudes or a quality of life that's far below what you deserve. I want to take liberty with Mr. Robbins' quote and say, if we don't set a baseline standard for what we'll accept at Riverview, then we'll find it's easy to slip into behaviors and attitudes or a quality of life that's far below what our scholars deserve, far below what our community deserves, far below what our taxpayers deserve, far below what our educators deserve. We have to set a higher standard. And so we do that. We do that through some reasonable guidelines, and we have a table. Actually, we have 2 seats at the table on the policy committee, and we work with Ms. Jennifer Williams and the policy committee. We thank you all for giving us some guidelines through the policies. We have some realistic goals. What are we doing every day? What are we doing every week? What are we doing every month to make sure that Riverview Garden gets the best for its scholars? And if we have those reasonable guidelines, those realistic goals, we believe that there will be some recognizable growth. growth. We believe that we should see what we're doing. And so we are getting work done. As Dr. Patton started off last year, my first year, the theme, we've got work to do, we're getting work done. Through our 89 employees, we are getting work done. Through our 14 building leads, we are getting work done. Through our 57 custodians, we are getting work done. Through our 2 maintenance carpenters, through our 2 grounds crew, through our 2 painters, through our 3 electricians, we are getting work to do. We recognize that there are some deficiencies in our deliverables, but we're getting work done, and we still got work to do. And I didn't come alone. Mr. Scheid is here, Ms. Crum is here, but I brought some people with me just to say thank you. These smiling men and women are honored to serve this district. I thank you. Any questions that you might have of me?
If you don't pull that mic out of there and drop it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Fabulous job, Mr. Freeman, and it speaks to conversations you and I have had about setting high expectation for this district all the way through. Fabulous, fabulous. Very proud of you. Very proud. Very proud. And you cleaned up nice too. So, oh wait, come back. You might have questions. You got to ask. Are there any questions?
Morrill, did you have something? And then Ms. Lane. Okay. Okay, Ms. Lane. Yes.
My one question is regarding the HVAC and plumber positions that seemingly they've been vacant for a very long time. How are you guys recruiting for that?
So we work with Mr. Ford, if you want to speak to your recruiting efforts, and then I can speak to something after that.
So we've worked with several of our, we've worked with the community colleges. We've also gone to the trade schools to try to start a pipeline. With the increase in pay, we've seen some applicants begin to come in, but we really haven't seen a big increase. We've gone to recruiting fairs within the community. Mr. Freeman has also attended some of the recruiting fairs with the Human Resources Department to try to find viable candidates. One of the concerns has been the candidates that we are looking at many times don't have the level of the skill that we need, because our buildings are older buildings. They have boilers, they have different HVAC units that may be that's far beyond what a person coming directly out of school would have the training on. So we are looking for people who are seasoned in their career and they have those additional skills, and we're finding that it is still hard to find those types of applicants to fill this position.
So I was going to just say that I have gone to recruiting sessions with him or with the HR division, Mr. Antoine Blakemore. We're competing against union jobs. They pay a higher wage, and so I know that we have increased that wage, but it has been challenging, and we are doing that, and Mr. Scheid may want to have something to add to that. No, he think I covered it.
I just want to add one more piece. Also, when Mr. Freeman talks about the competing with the unions, we've even looked at bringing in some of those first, second year graduates to fill the vacancies and bring in additional professional development. However, a lot of that professional development is localized with the unions and sponsored through the unions, so we have not been able to even have that as a viable option in order to build the skills of those candidates. So we're looking at options.
Yes, we've increased the hourly pay for that for those positions. We've also, if you drive past Central Services, you'll see it on our electronic board. We are trying to do everything we can to fill those positions, and so we're going to continue to work, Ms. Lane. We still got work to do, Ms. Lane. We still got work to do. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Our next, Madam President, we'll move into items for discussion. I'm sorry, were you going to say that?
I was, but it's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Our first item up for discussion is the Federal Programs Extended Learning. Making this presentation is Ms. Lakina Curtis, Director of Federal Programs, and this is in conjunction with Policy IA, Instructional Goals, Priorities, and Objectives. Ms. Curtis?
That's okay. Okay. Good evening, school board, colleagues, and community. This item is requesting approval at the next school board meeting for Lemasters Elementary to participate in before and after school activities for the remainder of this current school year in an amount not to exceed $19,000. Are there any questions? Succinct.
Good job, Ms. Curtis. Ms. Curtis gets the award for the fastest presentation. Our next item up, Mr. Curtis, you can have the rest of the week off. No, that's out of the question. Our next item up for discussion is the Special School District Assurance Statement and Local Compliance Update. Now we're lowering it? Okay. Making this presentation is Ms. Deirdre Liddell. She's the Executive Director of Student and Community Support, and this is in conjunction with Policy IGBA, Special Education. Ms. Liddell.
Greetings to the Riverview Gardens Board of Education, Dr. Tanya Patton, colleagues and community. Due to the recent changes for legislation, the original document had to be amended. This agreement was originally brought before you with a presentation by Ms. Mashonda Bailey and I in September. However, Senate Bill 68 introduced two significant updates that directly affected special education. One was the eligibility extension for a young child with developmental delay, and the other was the approval of out-of-state private agencies. These updates required revision to the partnership agreement to ensure compliance with new legislation. Therefore, I'm requesting both discussion and action on this item so that we can submit the amended agreement back to Special School District within their amended time frame. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Liddell. Our next item up for discussion are Spanish Level 1 and 2 Spanish textbook adoption. Making this presentation is Dr. Joel Ramsdale. He's the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. It says Ms. Ross, and you are clearly not Ms. Ross. Okay.
Ms. Ross's mother is
okay.
not
That's we're good. Thank you. It's in conjunction with Policy IIA Instructional Materials. Dr. Ramsdale.
Good evening, President Williams, members of the board, Superintendent Patton, and colleagues. Today we are presenting a recommendation for the purchase and adoption of a new core instructional resource for our high school world language department, the Level 1 and 2 Spanish textbook series, Así se dice, published by McGraw-Hill. Así se dice is a comprehensive Spanish program that uses a balanced approach to building proficiency through communication, vocabulary, grammar, and cultural understanding. The curriculum fully emphasizes the world readiness standards, which are communication, cultures, connections, comparisons, and communities, known as the 5 Cs, and is aligned with the World Languages Missouri course level expectations. The selection was made after a thorough review by both staff and students in our district. This adoption directly supports CSIP goals of student performance by providing high-quality resources to enhance student learning and cultural competence. The total cost of Level 1 and 2 resources for print and digital is $19,095.10, which has been budgeted for in the current fiscal year. We'll be recommending at the next board meeting in December the approval of this purchase not to exceed $20,000, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Good job, Dr. Ramsdale. Thank you. Our next item up for discussion is the elementary. Mr. Ford, you're not making your way that way. I'm confused. You're throwing me off. Okay. For discussion is the 2025-2026 elementary staffing plan adjustment. Secondary plan adjustment. Thank you. Making this presentation is Mr. Travis Ford, and this is in conjunction with Policy IHB class size. Mr. Ford.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Patton, colleagues, and community. The 2025-26 staffing plan was approved by the Board of Education on July 8th, 2025. Each year, the proposed staffing plan is developed based on the projected enrollment and academic and operational needs of each school site. Annually, in alignment with policy IBH, we review the district's current enrollment and make recommendations to increase or decrease the district's staff allocations as needed. Since the plan's approval, we are recommending adjustments to reflect the updated district needs. which include reductions to the current secondary and district-wide department allocations. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the staffing plan adjustments to the secondary and other departments as presented. Are there any questions?
Okay. The next item up is the staffing plan for elementary. I do want to give explanation. These were separated. During our last board meeting, one of our board members asked that the elementary staffing plan be tabled and brought back, and so we are bringing it back for discussion, and that's why they are separate items. Mr. Ford?
That was part of my intro. This item, this item was originally presented for discussion at the October 28th board meeting, board work session, and tabled at the November 11th board meeting. Since that time, we have reviewed and adjusted our elementary recommendations. These recommendations are based on our declining enrollment of 400 students and the academic and operational needs for each school sites. It is recommended that the board approve the staffing plan adjustments for the elementary schools as presented. Are there any questions?
I have a question. Mr. Ford, you said this one is different from the previous.
Yes.
What are the changes?
So the change on this one from the previous is at Meadows Elementary School. We had recommended that a kindergarten class be reduced at Meadows Elementary School along with a third grade class. We went back and we re-looked at it. We found out that there was a split already between kindergarten and first grade where they had those three classes. And with that, we did not want to add an additional split. And so because of that, we were able to figure out how to balance out that class set without introducing an additional split like we had presented already. And so that's why we made that change.
Thank you.
Mhm. That's the only change.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Ford. Madam Chair, that concludes the items for information and discussion. There is one item that is on there for action, and I'll put that in your hands.
Okay. Next, we will move to our item for action, and that is the SSD assurance statement and local compliance plan update. May I have a motion to accept the SSD assurance statement and local compliance plan as presented?
I'll second.
Okay. It has been moved by Dr. Coleman and seconded by Ms. Moore-Real. Is there any further discussion on this
I have a
item?
question. I do too.
Okay.
I wanted to know because I represent the SAD.
Can you speak into the mic,
I'm
please?
sorry.
Thank you.
Because I represent Riverview Gardens on SSD Governing Council, and I'm the vice chair of it. Should I abstain from voting?
I don't
Okay,
think
I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
No. Okay. And Ms. Lane, were you next with the question?
I did. I should have asked this question to Ms. Liddell while she was there. There's a 119-page document that I tried to read through. Was that just information general, or it seemed to get weedy to me?
Yes, ma'am. So that is the presentation that Mashonda and I did in September. We went through that assurance plan for you all. So there is a PowerPoint that goes with it, and I can forward the PowerPoint back to you all.
So we saw that already?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's
Yes,
just
ma'am.
you put it in a document that was
The
119 pages.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's
Thank
the original document.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you. If there's no further discussion, are we ready for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item has. Next, may I have a motion to adjourn the open session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, who said so moved? Okay, Dr. Coleman, it has been motioned by Dr. Coleman and seconded by Ms. Lane
Yes.
to adjourn our open session. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.